Yo, what's everyone saying? Hope everyone's having a good exam season and that. As you can see, today's something completely different from what we usually do. Goretzka's always been my guy right from his very first inform up to now, so I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as possible. And by the end, I'll give both Goretzka and Milinkovic-Savic a rating out of 50. So yeah, you've seen the team that I played with, and I'm gonna show you just some highlights from 4 daily knockout games and then 2 random games in Division 5. So going into the first game, I quickly realised that obviously people are taking this daily knockout so seriously because that centre-back delight is up for grabs. So all the pros, the sweaty geezers, all of them are going to be, heavily involved trying to scrape them W's. And I kind of underestimated how difficult it was going to be to get these W's. Now, as you can see from this first game, they have similar playstyles in the sense that they're both, box to box, very quick, very athletic, tall, powerful players. But there are some very notable differences between them. First and foremost, Goretzka's shooting, we all know already. You'll see from the following clips, it's a class above Milinkovic-Savic's shooting. I don't know, there's something about it where when he hits it, he stays hit. You know exactly, as soon as he's played it, it's going straight into the top corner, bottom corner, wherever you're aiming it. But Milinkovic-Savic does seem to make a lot of errors in the defense. When you watch Goretzka play, when he's playing it out from the back, he does one quick touch, gets it out, sprays it left, right, in the air, on the ground, whatever. Savic seems to have a bit more of a dinosaur foot touch. If his first touch isn't good, it's gonna lose the ball, and obviously in that kind of area it's really dangerous, and especially when they're playing both as CDMs like they are in this game. So it's kind of important to note that Savic isn't some Messi or Salah type dribbler. He's mainly just literally a big physical presence. I'm not saying he's bad at passing and stuff, but compared to Goretzka just seems to flow more nicely. Even in build-up play as well, he just seems to get the 1-2s going. Obviously, like I said, I'm not going to be super biased and stuff like that. When Savic does have time and play his passes, he probably is a better passer than Goretzka, as you can see from here. But Goretzka seems to just get them passes that are through the lines, through balls, just finding gaps that maybe other players don't really find, creating chances just like this for me to go 3-2 up in this particular game here. He even throws in a little fancy pass like this every now and again. He's just a much nicer player to sort of play with. But surprisingly, it was actually the defensive side of this game that impressed me most about Goretzka. Because anytime Savic will be pushing up or just running in towards the box, Goretzka will be chilling back there, stopping any counters, intercepting. This guy, his legs are like that woman from The Incredibles, isn't it? They just stretch bare long. Somehow he managed to reach it. He turned into 7 foot to somehow intercept some of these balls, and he just doesn't seem to take no for an answer. You can tackle him, he'll go and win it back from you. He'll chase you 20 meters down to come and win the ball back from you. Obviously, because of that 91 pace, it's a lot different from Savic's 84 pace. So those recovery challenges are much more impressive as well. But Savic, like I said, he's no slouch whatsoever. When he's in and around the box, he's deadly because he's so hard to beat off the ball. I would say Savic is a lot stronger in terms of physically. You can't really muscle that guy off the ball. As you can see from the first game, a significant amount of dribbles and passes because he just seems to be there more, both defensive and offensively. He seems to be there a lot more. As I said, when you give Savic time, he can play lovely little through balls just like this to get Douglas Costa another chance. He misses there. But he kept on playing these nice through balls. I do like it when the triangle through ball that he plays just down the line is very useful. But when I'm trying to play infield, his passes seem to be a little bit too slow, if you know what I mean. When I press R1X, is it R1X? L1X? R1X I think is for a little heavy pass. Goretzka's one just seems to go straight to feet, perfect for the guy to control. Whereas Savic just seems to just be way too powerful or way too light, either one of them. And as I said, when he's in the defensive third, he manages to lose the ball because his first touch is not so immaculate. But on the other hand, he's the perfect guy for 1-2s. If he's coming out from the back and he manages to get the pass to you, give it back to him and he'll just drive through the middle like what I don't know, a Vieira would do, that kind of thing. Vieira's strong point wasn't necessarily his footballing abilities or his technical abilities, but that doesn't mean he was bad at all. He was pretty much sensational and he was always there or thereabouts. He just wasn't the guy to get the killer assists or the sensational goals or whatever. Not that he couldn't do them, obviously. And obviously, as you're going to see from here, he actually scores a complete banger over his weak foot, which completely surprised me because I didn't even know he had it in him. Because up to now, I'd been shooting and shooting with him and he just wasn't getting the connection clean enough. He kept on just scuffing it or playing it over the bar, but eventually, he got it. And I kept trying to force the ball to Goretzka to try and get the shots away with him, but because, like I said, he's more of the defensive guy, he's more sensible. He doesn't just push way up when there's only 4 players, because obviously they're both playing CDM. And one thing I did notice is that for some reason, whoever was like playing on the left side seemed to be way more involved in the game. So I thought, okay, let me make it fair. I switched Goretzka and Savic around every now and then, or at halftime, I went into like a 4-4-2, put them just both in centre mid. Obviously, this guy rage quit because of just how good Savic and Goretzka were together. And yeah, I thought I'd just try out different formations because obviously not everyone wants to use them as CDMs. Maybe some of them are weighted in that position. I feel like if you are playing pure CDMs, Goretzka has to be your man. But maybe as a centre mid, that's when it becomes a bit more tricky because Savic 100% is very sensational at what he does. But like Goretzka, for me, for the value as well, he just has a bit something like a little bit different. Like if you see here, the passes he plays with his weak foot, he starts so many attacks, whilst Savic takes a bit too long to like make up his mind. Even though I'm the one controlling it, a lot of the goals I conceded were Savic like losing the ball, or I don't know if it's come up yet. I've not really been paying attention to the actual video, but he gives away a penalty as well. And he just seems to be like a little bit more rash, less controlled. But once again, you know, he rifles it home. I can't really complain when he's, you know, bringing shots like that. So he is somebody who I guess you could say is a luxury player, especially considering his price, because he makes a lot of errors, but he more than makes up for it with the kind of goals he scores and the assists he finally gets in the games. He's just someone that I guess you could also compare him to Lampard a little bit in terms of how he's always there, like in the final third at the right place at the right time to somehow get on the end of things, whether that be again with the final pass, pre-assist, the goal, header, you know, tap-in, volley, whatever it is. And as you can see here, we're coming up against some serious teams, like proper tests for Goretzka and Savic. Obviously you can see here, I mistakenly went into a 4-4-2. It's not a formation I ever play like at all, but I thought, let me try these guys in, you know, centre mid and like see how they are. But you know, this was my 4th game of the daily knockout, and perhaps I should have just gone with like a more sensible formation, because here, as you can see, Goretzka again is just somehow, he just manages to win the ball all the time. Like, it could be nowhere near him. He'll stretch and slide and do everything to just get the ball. And when he plays the ball out from the back, it's so quick. The counter is so fast just from his one pass. Whereas, as I said, Savic a little bit longer. But again, aerial presence. This guy, like, he's a havoc for defenders. I noticed Savic more than Goretzka was winning the headers from like goal kicks or, you know, my goal kicks or corners or whatever. Savic was just always on the end of them. So defensively, actually, I would say that's one thing he had over Goretzka in terms of winning the headers. Not that Goretzka didn't win any, but I noticed no matter which side I played them, Savic was always the one, you know, the towering header, either out of the box or to a teammate or whatever it happened to be. Goretzka didn't get a goal, but fair play to this guy, like he completely battered me. And as you can see here again, like he doesn't really have the amazing touch or dribbling ability, because if I did that with Goretzka, you know, he'll do a little turn through his legs and then control it quickly and then just push forward. So here's a couple of games I played on just Division 5 after, you know, I lost that daily knockout game, the 4th one. So obviously I'm not in Division 1 yet because I just stopped playing like ages ago. So these are just some couple Division 5 games, and it gives me a chance to like showcase their shooting a bit more, their passing abilities and stuff like that. And as you can see, you know, that time it was Goretzka with a header straight to Crespo, and that's where they're both an asset because they're both like so tall. And you know, when you're playing against more people like your level, which, you know, I assume there's no pros watching this, because like what kind of pro this watches some random Gold 2, Gold 1 level player. But as you can see, they start so many attacks together. When you're playing against someone maybe your level or a bit lower than you, they are so hard to get past, like as you can see from here now. And the link-up play was amazing. Like they were playing 1-2s off each other so quickly, like telepathically. You know, they were getting it into Crespo, into Jesus, Firmino, whoever was playing there. And you always feel like you have a chance, no matter how far away you are from goal. I feel like with Milinkovic and Goretzka, if you just hit it, it could potentially just go in, as you can see here. Like none of the goals were really tapping, apart from like 1 or 2. The others were just straight bangers. But again, Savic just seems to make mistakes, get the passes wrong, whilst Goretzka, you know, as soon as he plays it out from the back, it's completely accurate. He knows exactly where he's going. But Savic is the kind of guy I like to, again, as you can see from this goal right here, he just drives right through everyone. Like nobody can even get near him because he's quick, he's strong, athletic, powerful. Didn't get the shot in the net, but you know, you can see what I'm talking about here. Even when Goretzka's not even facing the guy, or if he's like tripping up or someone's on his shoulder, he just manages to get the pass away. And I feel like that's really important, like the turnovers in this game, because yeah, you know, Savic is great at like what he does, but you want your CDMs to first and foremost protect your defense, and I don't really feel like he does that. Again, I forgot what his work rates are. I'm not really like checked it like that, but I believe both of them are high or maybe high medium. So they're both pushing up. And you'll see that by this goal here, he's literally like the closest man to Jesus right there. Puts it in the net to make it 6-1. And Goretzka, you know, I tried to force some shots with him to like show you, but obviously he was always in defensive position. So as you can see from here, like that's just where I lagged out. You can see it was like a bit laggy for the past 20 minutes or whatever. The guy on the left just somehow seems to be a bit more involved with the attacking play. I'm not sure if that's a FIFA thing or if that's how I play, but it just seems to be the case. Like the guy on the right makes a lot more tackles, wins the headers, stuff like that. So this was just the last game now that I'll show you guys. Again, you know, Goretzka going through the middle, I enjoy so much because he has such good close control. Like for such a massive geezer, like he just manages to do little fake shots and find his way through places. Again, unfortunate not to score. And it was good to just, you know, be able to show like their levels of shooting. Like Savic, you know, he's decent at shooting again, but Goretzka, you know, not only is he a good ball winner, he's fully like a bulldog. He's like a centre mid style of Tevez, even though Tevez wasn't the tallest. The way, like his work rate is, it's too hard to explain how good Goretzka is. Like he doesn't really have a weak point. Whereas I feel like Milinkovic has many points where he excels, but he also has weak points that, you know, bring him down. So it's difficult to compare them, yeah. But I feel like if you want to build a team around one of them, it's more likely to be Goretzka, because Savic, I feel like needs a Kante or a Vieira or Gullit, or depending on what kind of stuff you can afford. Someone that's fully going to sit back so that Savic can go and push on and do what he does, have a bit more freedom. Whereas Goretzka, if you ask him to be that guy that stays back, he can do that. If you want him to be the guy that plays in attacking mid or just pure centre mid, he can do that. So he doesn't necessarily need a specific partner next to him. You can just put anyone next to him and, you know, you can bring out results, like you saw even with me during Foot Champs. As you can see here, you know, both of them, Goretzka and Savic, they're just scoring screamer after screamer. But yeah, they're just really involved in link-up play. I like the little drag backs, the passes. Even look at this finesse shot, that one. Usually 9 times out of 10 with my informed Goretzka, that goes straight in. So again, it's hard to judge it just based on those 8 games or 10 games that I've played. But I can say they're two of the best centre mids in the game. And if you're still trying to get players, even though World Cup mode is out, I would 1000% recommend Goretzka. I would say Savic as well, but again, he's the kind of guy that you need someone there beside him to be able to make him as efficient as he could possibly be. And I feel like for the 1 million or so price range, it's not really worth it. Like I wouldn't have paid 1 million for Savic knowing how he played. Again, that goal just sums it all up though, like both of them. And as you can see from the ratings, bias aside, Goretzka just slightly edges it for me. I've still got like 5 weeks left in Colombia. As you can tell, I was rocking the jersey and that, and I'm excited for the World Cup. So I'm still gonna try and squeeze out one a week, hopefully, but you know, I can't guarantee anything, so just keep backing it, keep supporting it, and let me know your 3 favourite centre mids, and I'll catch you man in a bit.